time for some corn soup in a can. Hey everyone, welcome back to Obscure Soup. Yes, that's correct. Today we are trying a soup. Actually, not the first time we've done a soup on this channel. Hopefully the last. Anyway, this one's from Japan, from our favorite Paco Sapporo drink company. So it's made by a drink company. It's in a can, but in fact is a soup of some sort. The name, and I'm going to scribble out of the Japanese on this, is, I think it's Jikkuri Kotokoto, I think.
Jikkuri Kotokoto.
And it has a lot of onomatopoeia here in the title. And this is Jaki Jaki Tsubu, which I think means crunchy chunks, and Torori corn, which means like viscous, and that's why it's long, Torori corn. So Torori means viscous, so it's like viscous corn, something like that. I don't know, I've totally screwed it up. And then it's a potage, which is, I guess, the French word for creamy soup, chunky soup. And then this is, I guess, it's viscous and thick. So anyway, I think it's supposed to be served warm, but obviously since it's in a can, I don't think you can just like put this on the stove, or you can't obviously put it in the microwave. So I guess you basically have to dump it out and then heat it up somehow, either in a microwave. It does mention a microwave here somewhere, but I think it says don't put the can in the microwave is what it says. But anyway, let's open it up. I did bring a glass. I don't know if I really want to drink this whole thing on camera as much as you guys might want me to, but yeah, here we are. Oh, there's some chunks. You guys see that? There's a bunch more chunks in there, but I definitely saw some corn kernels coming out. I don't want to spill it all over the table. But it is chunky. You can see it is like pretty viscous. So let's give it a try real slow. I do like corn. I'm not a corn soup kind of person, but I like corn. I don't like cold corn soup out of a can that much. I got a chunk. There's real corn kernels. I guess that's a good thing. You know it's the real deal. Pardon my spitting. I think you can see some of them. There's more of them in there. So yeah, I got a couple chunks in there. Actually not that bad. I'm getting used to it. The first sip, especially because it's cold, was kind of like a little too viscous. And I just had this flashback. When I'm doing these taste test videos, sometimes I'm thinking like, what in my life experience does this remind me of? And I come up with weird things like bubblegum that I had when I was a little kid, or fruit roll-ups was the one I did last week. But this one, at least visually, and this is going to be kind of gross, but reminding me of one time I remember I was in elementary school. Actually, this is going to be really gross. Put this down. When I was in elementary school, maybe second or third grade, back in the day, we'd had lunch and we'd gone to recess, and then we'd come back to the classroom. And one of the kids in the class, somehow, whatever he ate for lunch was not agreeing with him. And in the middle of like we all had our, heads down doing some exercise on a piece of paper. This kid just barfed, just threw up. I'm going to start pouring this again. And somehow whatever he had was kind of like this. It was very yellow. And the funny thing I remember was it, completely covered his desk, covered the piece of paper on his desk. And obviously they went and wiped it up and whatever. But the ink off of that paper, it was like a photocopy or whatever, was burned into the desk. It was like permanently, imprinted on there. So after they cleaned up the paper and all that, whatever was on that piece of paper was like permanently marked for the rest of the school year in that desk. So every day that kid sat down, he had to look at whatever it was he was doing right before he threw up all over his desk in front of the whole class. So that must have been pretty scarring. and I'm sure he never goes near whatever that food that he ate that day was. So on that bright note, let's have some more. Yeah, pretty decent actually. Throw up reminiscing aside. It's been a while since I got that sick that I threw up. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I got food poisoning at dinner, and by the time I got home that night, I really wanted to throw up, but I couldn't, which is actually worse than throwing up. But despite all this flying around Asia and stuff like that, I don't actually get food poisoning very much. A couple of years ago, I went to India 8 times in a year and never in all 8 trips got any kind of food poisoning. You just gotta be careful what you eat. It's not that I have an iron stomach, it's just that I literally did not eat anything that I wasn't sure was extremely well cooked and totally not exotic. Stay away from the spices, obviously. So anyway, that is is it Jikkuri Kotokoto, I believe? It does have some instructions here which tells you to like twist it, I think, just to keep the stuff, get it mixed in there. But it doesn't say to shake it, because I guess you don't want it to like break up the pieces too much. So actually the ingredients on this thing are kind of funny. So normally when I'm doing like a drink review, it's water and then sugar and maybe high fructose corn syrup, etc., etc. This one, the number 1 ingredient is super sweet corn. That's super suito korun in Japanese. Yes, my pronunciation's that good. And actually it has a whole bunch of other stuff because it's a soup, right? So one of the main ingredients is actually chicken extract powder, but further down it also lists just the seasoning or flavorings, and it includes like soybeans and chicken and barley and some other stuff. So it's a soup. Okay, I still have to give a final verdict for the corn soup in a can. I'm not going to butcher the name again. I'm going to say, damn, you're pretty torori, but I like you anyway. Okay, so that's it for today. See you guys next time. I'm going to pound this thing right now. Too many chunks. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is my other background. I'm back in the studio again. I'm still trying to get the lighting good. I think right now my face is just way too dark. I have to adjust the ambient lights. But anyway, that's it for today. See you guys next time. Bye. Welcome back to Obscure Cola. Today we're going to try Coca-Cola Apple. I'm here with my son in Japan. Just got this at a Family Mart today. Apparently Coca-Cola...